Let's talk about Zalance Heard or Zalance Heard. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I said Zalance on air at Texas today, so someone in the comments can let me know if I just looked like a bozo live on radio. So fill me in, CD. Who is this Heard character that we've heard so much about?
So he's a guy, primarily an offensive tackle in his days, dating back to high school and college. You got two bookend studs there at LSU. Obviously, two underclassmen. So guys that he wouldn't even have playing time until his junior year, would have to sit out another year or so. He's a guy that didn't transfer because of lack of playing time or he didn't deserve it. He was a guy that even when he got on the field, popped and shined. His comparison is a guy like Ronnie Stanley, and that is not to be taken lightly. Ronnie Stanley was a guy at Notre Dame that was super athletic, freak of nature, size, speed, athleticism, arm length, all that good stuff that you want in an all pro offensive tackle in the NFL. Zalance Heard can do that. And he pairs with a guy like Nico and to be able to do special things for them in a time where Tennessee's weak spot this year at times was the offensive line. And to get one of your bookend tackles
Depth, specifically
to be
depth. Like
solidified.
when they were hurt, like it
Yes.
showed against Florida specifically. It hurt.
Yeah. And he Zalance Heard is a guy that's from the state of Louisiana. So that obviously didn't obviously not easy to draw him away from LSU. But when you have, Emory Jones and Will Campbell, they're two underclassmen that are just future first and second round picks there. It is what it is. And Zalance Heard, found some value. Tennessee got him late in the cycle, which is awesome. Like you mentioned, this year was better than ever. We've seen at the tackle position, Hayden Proctor, Zalance Heard, two guys in the same class, highly rated guys, freaking nature, size, speed, weight, all that good stuff that you want in an offensive tackle, and with playing experience at the Power Five level with a true freshman, and that doesn't come along all the time. And obviously, Iowa got a big time guy in Proctor, but Lance Heard is a huge get for them.
Yeah, and I on radio this morning, there's some questions that came in that were like, why this was for Texas A&M football. It's like, why haven't we landed a surefire starter on the offensive line in the transfer portal, specifically at center and offensive tackle? Well, because offensive line is a premium position, and there are not a lot of guys in the portal like you just talked about. Like Lance Hurts they don't exist in the portal very often. This is actually probably the best offensive line cycle, like portal cycle that we've seen in a while, especially at the top. Caden Proctor, Hurd. It is a little
Washington's
bit
guys.
different. Yeah, it is different. So yeah, sure, A&M didn't land those guys, but like not every team's gonna land them. Like you were lucky to land them. A&M, first of all, oh, why didn't we get a guy in the portal? The guy, his name's Chase Pasantis. This isn't a Chase Pasantis video, but that was the guy you landed in the portal by not letting him go away, right? And Pasantis, despite how much he struggled this year, he was a 4-star rated in the portal because he had 3 years of eligibility and he had SEC starting experience. Like that's what it is. I mean, that those players are valuable. Valuable. So it's no wonder that Hurd was one of the best players in the transfer portal, rating wise. He was a 5-star coming out of high school. Sure, he didn't get a ton of playing time, but he profiles as a starting offensive tackle in the SEC. He just couldn't find his way onto the field. He just couldn't do
He
it.
couldn't beat out two other all SEC guys with more experience than he had. And also, like you mentioned, why aren't these guys in the portal? A couple reasons. First of all, offensive linemen more than others, the adjustment to the college football level is harder than a lot of other positions. It takes time to get your body and mind right up to speed to the college football game. So not only does it take a couple years for you to hit, by the time you're draft ready, you're just going to go to the NFL draft because you're an offensive lineman, because you take all that physical beat and all that other good stuff. And because the NFL values you that much, you're going to go to the NFL draft and you're going to make a ton of money there. Secondly, programs like LSU, like Alabama, like Texas, they have a ton of money dedicated to retention of guys like this, of this caliber. And because obviously this is a special scenario, first of all, Zalance Heard is a guy that they're already paying two other tackles elite money. So they maybe can't afford a guy like him. And then Caden Proctor, obviously homesick, and the coaching change there. Obviously, the Washington guys, the coaching change there. Those are all special scenarios that doesn't come along every year. For Tennessee to get a guy like this with 2 years of eligibility at least before he has to even consider going to the NFL draft, is special. I cannot say enough about this. And the future of Tennessee football, especially next year with Nico and all the hype there on the offensive side of the football is massive. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it, and I hope Tennessee fans are excited about this because you should be.